Okay, so this is another episode of 5 Minute CAD. Andy, are you excited for it?
Yeah, just doing it with the person who taught me from the start. I think like one of the first online sessions I did. So
Do you
No,
know
no,
hopefully
what?
no
the
pressure, no pressure at all today. Then.
Well, then we'll do an introduction. So we're joined by Steve Cox, and Steve is, I guess, quite dear to both Andy and I because Steve is the person who taught us how to press the buttons in the right place on Fusion. So I don't know whether this is a test of how good you are or how good your teaching is, Steve, depending on how well Andy and I do or how well you do.
Yeah,
Um,
you know what they say: if you can't do, teach, and all that kind of stuff. You're going to find out whether that's the case today.
Well, it's gonna be fun, I think, and it's really nice that you could join us. And obviously, you've been on a journey in education with us, and
Mm,
yeah, we'll kind of talk it through. So,
mhm.
the premise, Andy, what's the premise of the game?
it's sort of based on those dodgy videos you see on Facebook of 5 minute crafts, but like the name says, this is 5 minute CAD, so it's sort of choosing a random object, place, whatever it is, and you've got just 5 minutes to make it. So sometimes it looks nice, sometimes it looks the opposite. So it's sort of a test of how quick you are and how good you are at finding the functions and sort of picking that path to get there as soon as possible.
Okay,
Mhm.
so and I guess do you know some shortcuts, Steve? Is that right?
No, no, it's all longhand with me. I
Okay,
look at the I look at the timeline at the end sometimes and think, my God, how did I get here?
okay, you're making me feel a little bit more comfortable. So I guess Andy, we need to. I don't know if Steve, you ever heard of a website called Fusion Educators Hub.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
pretty big on the internet. I think there's about 6 people a week who go on it. No, I think we're getting there.
You're
So
getting viral slowly then.
we're getting viral slowly. So have you got the website, or am I finding it, Andy?
I've got it.
You've
So
got
I'll
it.
just share my screen.
Okay, so we're on to www.fusioneducatorshub.com/ just for fun. And this is all you need to be able to play um, in your schools or wherever you are. So we're going to let Steve pick, Andy.
Of course, got to treat your guest. So whatever number you like out of those, Steve.
Good grief, it doesn't go up to my age. 'Let's go 25.
25. Oh,
A
that's
A
quite
shed.
shed?
fitting. A
Oh,
shed.
a shed. Oh, that's
Okay.
oh no.
Mm.
Okay. So we've got 5 minutes. Are we going to choose a running order?
I think it makes sense if I go first again since my screen's on.
Okay, so Andy's bag first slot. Steve, are you second or are you going to go last?
I don't mind. Wherever you want to put me.
The final slot's always the most difficult one because it kind of you're the one who has to have a finished product at the end. I'm not
Right.
convinced that I can do that, but I don't really mind. I normally embarrass myself on these. Do you want to choose?
You put me last then if you want.
Okay, let's go for it. So Steve is going last. The time starts now. So we've got two
So
minutes. Okay.
Mm.
What type of shed are you going to go for?
I'm just going to go for a nice box shape with a nice slanted roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
like the flat roof one that was on the picture. So I might go something
Okay,
more
I
like
think
that.
the question is, this is where I start. I never understand how big I'm going to make mine. Currently, I'm going for 100 millimeters by 75 millimeters for my shed.
You see, my first thing here is to change the units. So go to the
Ah,
browser,
what?
go to
Looking
document
for?
settings and change from millimeters to meters because that make more sense if you're doing the shed.
He's right, Andy, isn't he?
I'd given up with things like the measurements and the diameters, and I just, as long as it looks like a shed, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm going to have my shed so it's not solid. There's going to be a space for yeah, space maybe for people to go inside it.
Mhm.
I'm not
I've
trying to
I've
get.
just shelled mine out.
You shelled it. I don't know why I haven't
Oh
shelled mine
wow,
out.
okay.
Because what I've done is I've drawn another sketch underneath, and now I'm extruding a cut into it, which is really ridiculous. But there we go. Um, Sometimes it just goes out the window, doesn't it? What you're trying to do. Right.
Need a door, otherwise it's a pretty pointless shed, isn't it?
You've got a door on it already. Calm
No,
down.
I'm only just starting to add it.
What kind of? I can't kind of
Oh,
work out what shape to do on top. I think I'm going to go for a wedgie shape. That's where I'm going. So, what's new in your world, Steve? Anything exciting?
Oh, the usual stuff, really. Still training people to use Fusion. So got an
Yeah,
interesting 2-day session next week, which I think is around fashion, which is kind of it might be an interesting
fashion.
use
Wow.
of
Okay.
yeah. So I'm not
Andy,
quite sure what to expect there.
Andy,
is
that
my
is
sharing time up?
your sharing time is up. Um, yeah, I'm going to share into my screen then now. So let's see where I am up to. So I've managed to create some kind of wedge. I'm going early with mine. I'm changing my material into wood because I've decided it's going to be wood. I'm not sure where I'm going to actually get to with this. What's your favourite type of wood on the Fusion drop-down menu, Steve?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter because you can do so many edits on wood. It doesn't really seem to matter too much
Well,
where you start because
I haven't got time to do lots of edits. I'm going for a wall. No, walnut doesn't look right. I've got. Oh no! So I've managed to change my wood now. I'm going to put a door onto my shed next. I think it's very. We use the project, so obviously I can make sure that I haven't got any gaps. Yeah, it's very rudimentary, my shed, which is the way. I think that's the way that the best sheds are actually.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going to cut a hole for a door, but I cut a hole for a door. That means I've got to make a door now, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a patch. I'm not sure this patch is going to work. Doesn't. Frustrating.
Gonna
Let's
add
Mhm.
see.
some windows, let a bit of light in there.
You got some. My word, Andy, you're good. You are. I
I
need to
mean,
know.
it doesn't necessarily mean the good windows, but I've tried.
Yeah, I've now got a steel door, which is now going to be another problem. So I'm going to change that physical material. I might have a different flavour of wood. I'm going to go for a walnut door. That'll be nice. Oh no, I've messed it up because I've changed the whole thing now. Oh no, I'm quitting today.
How long have we got on the official timer?
The official time, we've got 2 minutes left, Andy. It's not going
Oh,
well,
at
at which
all.
point that's
Oh,
my
wow.
turn to stop sharing. So I'm stopping sharing now. Steve, if you can take us home for the last 2 minutes
Oh, wow.
on
Okay.
our sheds. It goes
Right.
fast, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, time's gone. So
It has.
yeah, so here's mine. So I went for a hexagonal shed, and now I've got to try and work out how to put the roof on it.
You're glad you went for that option.
So I cut a
Oh,
door, and then I've cut windows and done a circular pattern and suppressed one of them, so it doesn't repeat where the door already is. Um, so I'm just thinking now how to finish this off. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to create another sketch on here and finish a sketch because it's captured the outline, and then I'm going to see what happens if I try and loft this to this. Hey,
he's doing lofts, Andy.
yeah, which don't always work. Which is, you press that loft button, you're never quite sure what you're going to get. In this case, that looks pretty decent, I think. So I'm going to stick with that, I think. So
Oh
I've got
no,
my.
I've changed my door to glass. Not what I
perhaps I
wanted.
perhaps I need a bit of a spike on it, just to finish it off with a bit of. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. I'm happy with
Right,
that.
we've got about 30 seconds. So, this is
Ah,
Just
tight
trying to
now.
add my
Oh,
window pane, see if I get enough time.
yeah. That's a good point. Can't get any window panes in there.
oh
Let's have
no, I'm trying to put some kind of joint on my door. In fact, that's an amazing joint. It goes completely the wrong way, but you're gonna have to leave your mice alone.
Done.
Oh,
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 there we go. Okay. So at this stage,
oh wow.
Andy, what's the groan for? Has it
I,
not gone so well?
no, it was okay. I've just seen Steve's and realised that
Steve,
it's gone well by my standards.
Steve's made a bandstand though. It's supposed to be a shed. He's
Well,
missed the
yeah,
point.
well, that's one of these working sheds, isn't it? You know, office shed or whatever you want to call it. Garden office. Garden office.
Garden
That's
office.
mine.
You've gone up market on us.
It's very aerodynamic for a shed.
Yeah. I think I chose this because I thought you could use the pattern tool, which try and speed things up. But even then, 5 minutes disappeared like nobody's business.
It goes like that, doesn't it? Hit the play button, Steve. We can see how you've made it.
Shell,
Okay.
door, window, pattern window, loft.
Oh, you lofted it, did you? Did you loft it to a point or to a shape? To a shape.
So shelled it, door, window, patterned the windows, created a sketch above the top of the eaves, and then lofted to that, and then just created that spike on the top.
How did you create the spike?
That was just a straight extrude. So
okay, yeah.
All I did was just took that up and just dialed in some taper into it rather than
leave
it as a.
Sometimes it's
So that's a nice quick way of doing something like that without having to worry too much about it.
Do you know what I'd have done? I'd have ended up putting an offset plane and lofting into a single point to do that. So that's much better. Sometimes people are just better, aren't they, Andy? Do you want me to show you what I managed?
Efficiency is key.
Let me stop sharing.
Yeah. So this is, I've lost mine actually. Where has it gone? Down the bottom. So this is what I managed to create here. It's kind of this, very, very rudimentary, very, very square, very, very blocky. I made a little bit of a mistake in the first instance in that I didn't shell it out and I drew an extra offset sketch on the bottom here. So yeah, kind of a little bit silly in the way that I built it, I guess. Put a wedge on the top, extruded that across. Messed around for quite a long time with different materials and so forth, but I am pleased I have got a glass window in there and a different type of wood. I got to the point where I got a joint on it. You want to see this, right? I don't know if you've seen how well my door works. Look at that. That's novel.
Is that a cylindrical joint?
I think I panicked. So yeah, absolutely nailed that. Yeah.
There are some very clever doors that actually work like that. I don't know if you've ever seen any videos of them. They kind of open by folding, and it's one of the things I've seen sometimes. I thought I'm going to try and model that one of these days, see if I can make that.
And that's what I was doing, Steve.
Was it? Yeah.
And
it just wasn't a mistake.
Shed door.
It does look a bit like an origami shed door. The thing I was talking about.
Go on then, Andy.
So well done, Dad.
Thanks, Steve. You're proud.
Yeah.
I have got a shed. Let me just move our floating heads out the way and hide construction.
You've got construction planes on there.
Yeah, because similar to Steve, I thought if I start patterning things across, it's sort of, so I used a mirror to get the window pane on each side. I did manage to add the plane, but I didn't add a motion limit, so it sort of just loops through itself.
Okay.
I didn't have time for the motion limit, but I did go for the
contact sets would have done it.
Yeah, I did go for the slanted roof as well with a different type of wood. It's been waterproof treated, the wood at the top.
Did you?
Yeah.
There's no rubber membrane on top. And do you know what, mate? It looks a little bit tall. That looks a little bit odd perspective. So yeah.
I think I've sort of gone a bit much with the slant, and the roof's maybe a bit too big at the front.
So how big is this shed?
Click on an edge, Andy. Let's see.
Just click on an edge. Let's have a
shed size, Steve. Let's just go with that. Shed size.
Well, for a Lego mini
17.5 centimeters.
Okay, right. Okay, that's quite a workable shed then. Yeah.
It's a model. It's a prototype.
Stop sharing, Andy, and then we can.
Mine was 4 meters across.
Do you know what? I don't.
2.6 meters tall. So you might actually get a person inside that.
Yeah, I don't even think there's a competition on who won this one, is there, Andy?
No, I
Well, I
think it
don't know.
was.
Your timelines were twice as long as mine were.
It's
That
twice as
made me feel
inefficient.
inadequate. And you got appearances, and all I've got is that standard horrible satin steel.
Yeah, but Steve, you'd use lofts and things, and then you'd even put tapers on your extrude. So I think yours was a whole level above ours. I think that we've at some point one day we'll come maybe again we'll have a little bit more practice, and we'll invite you back for another episode in a few months'
Yeah,
time
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
see how you're
I'll be
doing.
a bit better brief then, and yeah.
Just I guess while we're on, Steve, it wouldn't be fair to not kind of if you had like kind of like one nugget of advice for people, maybe students, maybe people who are just starting out on their Fusion CAD journey. What would your kind of advice be in kind of just a couple of sentences?
Um, I don't. I always tell people don't obsess about how you got there. We were laughing and joking then about timelines. To me, it doesn't matter how messy your timeline is. It doesn't matter how you got there. The main thing is that you get there. So whatever means, because you can always go back and look at it again and think, well, perhaps if I started again, I'd model it a different way. And I've modeled things in the past and ended up with a very messy timeline, and then actually gone back and remodeled it. Because very often when you're doing it on the fly, you go down little cul-de-sacs and avenues that you wish you hadn't gone down. But I think the main thing is not to worry about that, not to obsess about it, not to think, oh, have I done this right? If you've got to where you need to be, you've done it right. That's my kind of piece of sage advice with Fusion.
Okay, very nice. And thanks ever so much for joining us on this episode. And
No,
I'm
it's my
sure
pleasure.
that it'll be interesting to see if anybody else wants to have a go and make their own shed and put with their classes or their just on their own. Give yourself 5 minutes. I think we might have had 6, but no one counted properly. So there we go. All right, we'll catch you
Yeah.
again.